Ruth Squires here. How you doing? I want to talk to you today about interest rates. Not the hot topic right now, I realize. We are above 7.5% currently. Yesterday, I saw a rate of 7.81%. Today, I'm looking at 7.62, but we are hovering above 7.5%. And I want to talk about the pros and cons of buying now versus buying later, maybe when rates adjust. But I also want to talk to you about a secret that could get you the 2 and 3% interest rate that we enjoyed in 2020, 2021. So if you stay to the end, I will give you a tip and we will be happy to help you see if you can still get that prime optimal rate that we have had in the past. So we'll do a little travel back and see if we can't still get those rates. So stay with me. I'm Ruth Squires with eXp Realty, RES Luxury Group, where we bring you white glove service and red carpet treatment because your satisfaction is always our guarantee. So let's talk about the pros and cons of buying now versus waiting out the interest rates until they soften to a better level. So I hear a lot of talk about this because in the 7 to 8% range, it feels very high compared to what we have enjoyed as of the last few years. So when you think about, well, what's the level that you would want rates to settle down to, it's probably different for a lot of people. In some cases, it's based upon your budget and your ability to purchase the home that you want, because certainly as rates rise, your purchasing power drops. So if that's your situation, it may be based upon that. This is what I need to buy in today's market, and the interest rate is prohibiting me from having that amount of leverage. Otherwise, it's just a feeling that you have that, hey, I don't want to pay more than 5.5% when I'm buying a home. And if you're old enough, you remember double-digit interest rates, which were a common thing years back. So it really is relative to your experiences, what you're accustomed to, and your finances. So when it comes to the pros and cons, though, we have to look at, well, today, if you're buying a house, you're going to be paying in the 7% interest rate range, but you're also able to maybe get some nice equity out of your previous home. So your loan amount may be less than what it would be if you didn't have that equity exposure. So that's one thing. Another thing to consider is as rates rise and purchasing power is reduced, prices come down. So we always have the dynamics of supply and demand. And when rates rise, buyers tend to step out of the market. They can't buy as much as they could before, and sellers in turn have to improve the positioning or the attractiveness of their home, and oftentimes they use the price to help them do that. Another aspect is when we're in an environment or a cycle like this is that most sellers are highly motivated, which means that you have a lot more opportunity to negotiate with the seller. So if you need them to help pay for a rate buy down, you probably can negotiate that as part of your sale. If you need them to give you the contingency time for sale of your home, your existing home, you negotiate that into the contract because there aren't 10 other buyers going after their home at the same time. If you want a better price on their home, you have more negotiation power because you're the buyer that's standing in front of them trying to buy their house and they want to work with you. So that's a very different dynamic than what we came out of previous, where we had all of these buyers fighting over the same home and it was pushing the prices up. You didn't know what you were going to have to pay. You couldn't do inspections. You had to waive appraisals. You had to do stop gaps. You had to do acceleration of price in order to beat out the other buyers that were out there. There were so many things you had to do as a buyer to be competitive. And what will happen when rates start to come down is that environment will open back up and we will start to have more and more competition over these homes. So that is something that you have to take into consideration when you're weighing, what do I do? Do I do it now? Do I do it later? So now you can get a better price. You have more control over what you want and how to negotiate for yourself. And later, you're probably going to have more buyer competition, meaning that you won't have as much say in the end result. If you buy today and rates come down, well then guess what? You can refinance. So all of these things I think have to be taken into consideration. Certainly your personal circumstances, whether or not you need to make a move today for work, for family situations, for finances, whatever it may be. If you need to make a move, understand there are ways to stay on the upside of the environment that we're in. And that's something that my team specializes in helping you to do. So I said, if we get to the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about how you can possibly take advantage of those low 2-3% interest rates that we had a few years back. I'm going to tell you that right now. Now this is something that, again, RES Luxury Group specializes in bringing tools to you that will help you to have the best result in your home purchase. With interest rates, if you are able to find a seller who has a VA loan, and a low rate VA loan, which most of them are going to be, you can ask to assume their loan. It's something that's built into every VA contract, and it's available on any house that has a VA loan. So that is a really exciting factor. Now you might say, well, how do I know if somebody has a VA loan? Well, that's where we also come in as the professionals who have the backstage knowledge of how houses were purchased when they were purchased prior to the sale that's happening now. The other thing is we can identify all homes in a certain neighborhood that will have VA financing on them. So we might be able to find you an off-market property. We specialize in offering our VIP services, which opens up a much bigger world of real estate opportunity to you as a VIP buyer or VIP seller, and allows you to have access to some of these higher end tools that we can offer. So if this sounds like something you'd be interested in learning more about, seeing how it might work for you, please reach out to us. We'd love to talk to you about it. You can reach the team at 352-794-1426. Thanks for listening, and I can't wait to hear from you. I'm Ruth Squires with eXp Realty, RES Luxury Group, again, bringing you white glove service and red carpet treatment because your satisfaction is my guarantee. Thank you.